dream last night that I had a DeLorean time machine. I was at some exotic locale and it looked incredible. Had the hat, the jacket, the hoverboard. But then I woke up.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the world premiere, first ever episode, Dads on Wrestling. I am one of your hosts for this show, JJ Williams, aka the Renegade of Wrestling.
And for those of you that don't know me, well, crawl from under your rock first for just 1 second. The end of Talk Wrestling is at hand. And there will be a new solo show starring Jeff Meacham very, very soon.
The premiere episode of the Renegade of Wrestling. I am your host, JJ Williams, the Renegade, and I'm going to be here today and in the coming weeks to discuss what else wrestling. As a matter of fact, I'm going to coin a phrase here. I am here to talk wrestling with you, the viewers.
What's up, Internet? It's me, Stat Boy, and I'm proud to say it's... Thank you. It's episode 1 of Stat Boy Rants. First off, let me say thank you to all of you that put comments on the promo page.
The very first episode of After the Bell. This is Jeff Meacham, but as the WWE Champion says, you already knew that. Thank you all for tuning in. We've been promoting this for weeks. It feels like months. It really does, but it really has been a matter of weeks.
It's me, DDP, Diamond Dallas Sage, and you are watching Dads on Wrestling every Thursday. Now stay tuned or you will feel the bang! This is Downtown Bruno, long-time legend in his profession, reminding you to watch Dads on Wrestling every Thursday on YouTube.
Jeff Meacham back to your Pro Wrestling. I'm waiting on Sasha Derevko. He just came in. All I saw was him jump Sam Knight out of from behind. Oh my God, waiting for Sasha. I don't know where he is. Here we go.
You speaking full American. What do you want to say?
I want to hear what you want to say. What happened out there?
Get out of here. I'm not a screwdriver. I find the honey jack. I am like the pussycat bear, Winnie the Pooh. I get caught in the honey tree, trying to find the honey jack.
As long as you get stung by a bee, that's important.
Come party with the Russians. We know how to party.
Hey, I'm dressing in red. I got the beard. I'm good to go.
I am the Russian king of karaoke.
That's right. Sasha Derevko, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead, Stat Boy. Whoa, it's not exploding.
It's just fresh.
There you go.
Silver bullet knocked my hand.
That smells good. That's like a shot glass, dude. You should be... Alright. We should
Take
got
a
some...
sip from the cup. There you go, baby.
Can I
He's been waiting to do
that.
that since 1993 when he bought that Stanley Cup, when they almost had it the first time.
Back then would have been Martin Ellis, though.
Yeah, that's true. You
A
would have
little
been
younger,
underage.
back then.
You'd have been underage.
I want to thank you for coming on the show. I did an interview, and I don't know how long, and I was nervous. I'll be honest. I mean, we're buddies and everything, but it's very nerve-wracking. So thank you so much, love. It's always a pleasure to see you, and we will see you guys next time.
Anytime, I'll be on. I'm happy to be on.
Well, we may get short interviews, so we'll see.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice time, you guys.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the reunion, rebirth,
resurgence.
Yeah, that's a big word. I like that one. The resurgence.
That's right.
Kind of like insurgents, and I ain't got no insurgent friends. Of Dads on Wrestling.
That's a compound word for all you grown folk out there.
I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, or at least I was last time I checked my wallet.
And last time I checked my underpants, I was Jeff Meacham, who is now running this show on his channel.
Woohoo.
Woo, which means Jason and our responsibilities. You can do
That's
what you
right.
want.
I can just sit here and talk wrestling, the corner phrase.
I'm wearing this
What you did there?
Oh, fuck, I'm
You minor for you.
No, your eyes do not deceive you. We are the dads, not always on wrestling, including this week. I am the West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham, and yes, on the screen with me, believe it or not, it is the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, and dear Christ, is this the final sign of the apocalypse?
It must be. I mean, we've already had the plague and all the other madness going on.
Yeah, no kidding. No, I'm not Stat Boy. Bear with me. This is the Jeff Meacham Network. This is Stat Boy Sports Bar. Jeff Meacham joined me here just for a moment here because, well, we have technical snafus, and that's just the way I roll because it's my network and I suck. So, anyway, today is a very special presentation here on the Jeff Meacham Network because you're not going to hear mostly from me because I don't talk a lot about other sports, and that's just the way it is. I do love football and other sports, but my focus on this network is wrestling, and I wanted to give the Brotherhood a chance to do their thing on my platform. And with NFL finally getting underway, because my goodness sakes, it's been a long hot summer, and NFL, we should be together after all. Let's bring him in right now. He is the Stat Boy himself, Mike Caldwell. What's up, brother?
Welcome, hello, my internet fans. Welcome to the premiere edition of Stat Boy Sports Bar. I am the owner and proprietor of this non-alcoholic area right now, but hey, if you got a drink, grab one and let's talk some football, all right?
Pop a top for this Pit Daddy, or something like that.
That's right. I like that. Pop a top. That's a good one.
I don't know why my mic keeps getting muted every time I start a damn show. It's really starting to piss the shit out of me. Anyway, welcome everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night if you're on the Truman Show. That works too. Welcome to a very special presentation on both the Jeff Meacham Network and, yes, the CASA D-18 Studios. I botched the name. I'm fired. YouTube page, because it was 10 years ago this month that little old me decided to branch out into the great unknown. Let's not kid ourselves, because it was at the time a very risky, almost risky business. But don't worry, I won't be Tom Cruise dancing on the screen of my networks. I'm not scared that many of you off. It was myself and this gentleman right here, the Renegade himself, JJ Williams, out front of our apartment complex in Lakewood, if you step one direction, Long Beach if you step the other, that we decided to do a little show called Dads on Wrestling. And what would happen over the next 6 months or so was one of the craziest times in my entire life career of doing this stuff. And we knew this day was approaching, and we all sat here and couldn't believe it's been 10 years. It's just that it seems to have flown by. But when you think about, our kids being on the shows and, all the events that have taken place in wrestling and in sports and in life in those 10 years, you go, yeah, it's been 10 years. And I got to tell you, man, I was so glad you suggested this and so glad you pushed for this to be a thing, because I didn't realize how much I enjoyed and how much I missed the old days. And I put that trailer together that you guys just saw. That was the intro for today, but the trailer on yesterday's 6.5 hour pay-per-view watch along. Like, no lie, when things fell apart with me and Aaron for that brief time it did, I was an angry ginger. So yeah, this guy here, and we'll bring everybody else in momentarily that's actually wanting to be on and not wanting to not having to do with us, and this is fun. But it was this guy's initial vision to have something more than just talking head for 45 minutes every week. And I appreciate you nudging that creative side of me forever.
Well, thank you for that praise. Thank you for that introduction, and you're welcome. I mean, it's no secret to our longtime fans that we have known each other for a very long time.
Yes, quite so.
10 years of the CASA D-18 Studios, but we've known each other for almost 16 now.
Yeah. I say, as a matter of fact, WrestleMania, well, the weekend before WrestleMania this year is actually 16 because we kind of unofficially met at All-Star Weekend Night 1, which was WrestleMania 21.
It was like, and back then, I kind of knew who you were, but didn't know you. And as we would continue going to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, PWG, the friendship would grow and grow and grow.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly when the first trip to Disney was with all of us, but I would say that was probably when the initial seeds were first planted of more than a, hey, I see this guy once a month type of acquaintances.
Right. Yeah. I would say definitely the constant Disney excursions and having the opportunity to work so much together and do so many things together that it's really funny how things work. That I mean, granted, back then, if you watch the old Renegades, the old Dads, the old Casa shows, they're very shaky. They're very much more seeming like a documentary than a I don't want to say unprofessional because it's not unprofessional because we really did do our best, but it was definitely less than perfect equipment, less than desirable setups because we were going by the skin of our pants. Much more so in the beginning. It definitely got better as we came along and as we decided that, hey, you know what, these computers have cameras in them too. Let's just do that and see what happens. Instead of sitting here and having our camera guy do this when he says yes and when he says no, it's like
I mean, at the end of the day, we did take the feedback we were getting from our fans to heart. We wanted to try to be different and not just be, like you said, talking heads in a room, much like we are now today. We wanted to try and be something that would stand apart from the rest. So we wanted to be outside. We wanted to be on location and stuff. And there were definitely some downfalls to it. The wind and the weather was a big thing.
Yes.
And, if the wind would start to kick up, you could barely hear us talk over the wind. Cars driving by, would present issues, background noise. And then, of course, the proverbial cameraman making it known whether or not he agreed or disagreed with what we said by, as you said, tilting the camera up and down for yes or shaking it side to side for no.
Yeah.
So where we eventually moved inside,
had to,
got a tripod, albeit a small one, put the camera on it, and would basically just have someone behind the camera to press the button to start and press the button to stop.
Yep. Yeah. It wasn't like we had these back there. We could sit here and grab this and just go click. We're done. And again, I'm not trying to compare. Much like Extreme Mayhem and even XMV was in the early days, we were right around 10 years too early for what we needed to be. If we were to start the channel now, dude, we would be breaking it in with all that we did, all location shoots we did, all the better equipment we would no doubt have by now.
Oh, yeah.
Different things, much like XMV. Dude, XMV only survived because we did location shoots back in 04 and 04 to 06, because having my former co-host and I sit there at a table every week, forget it, man. It's just, we had to be doing something, whether it's going to the ranch or going to Disney or doing something where we weren't just for 45 to an hour. And that's what I think you saw in the potential of, because you had seen me and you've gotten to know me pretty well since then, but I think you even had a read on me Oh yeah, well, go ahead and
We
throw it up.
needed something where we could engage in shenanigans.
Yeah, and that's why I ended that trailer with what it was. We endure on this channel, on your channel, on my channel, because of the shenanigans we get into. Even if we're here, there's still shenanigans because technology is a wonder. But you saw the potential that was left on the table when XMV quote unquote died, for lack of a better term. And there was so much more out there, especially now that I was in a different part of LA County where we could go millions of more places and have something different as a backdrop. And it's funny. I didn't really get misty at the end of the XMV taping that we did where we had the big Eagles thing and whatever. I got misty at One Night Stand watching that pay-per-view the following weekend because I knew whatever I was going to do after that was never going to be the same. And by the grace of God, you and Mikey, and I'll give the credit to everybody else, Aaron and Pinky and everybody else that came in and through that circle really got me back on my feet, off my ass. Okay, this is doable. Here's why. And you motivated me, and I can't even begin to process how awesome that was. I was going to bring Mikey in for that next little thing because I really want to tell the story of Mikey and Spence, but he's not here, and it's not funny without him here. So I'll wait for that.
He messaged me saying that his phone died, that he would try to get in as quick as possible.
Got it. Okay, very good. Well, we will definitely, because that story must be told to the public, because that is just too much to hold back. Too much stuff. In the meantime, however, I will go ahead and go through and read some of the comments because there are quite a bit coming in. Mike Gonzalez says, congrats on 10 years. Thank you, Mike. We know you've been with both of us every step of the way since the beginning of the network a year and a half ago. So we appreciate you coming in and supporting. And I appreciate Brendan for $9.99. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Brandon. Again, getting these YouTube paydays are just everything. They really are. And we're trying to get him into that level, and we're trying to keep me at that level. So $10 like that keeps us there, and we appreciate it very, very much. Joe says, I miss Stat Boy Rants, and congrats, happy 10 years. The Cleaver says, happy good evening, boys. Thank you, Colin. Kevin Johnson sent in $10. So thank you for that, Kevin Ray Johnson. We appreciate that. And then says, congratulations on 10 years. Happy for you all. Man, I must be getting old because you guys definitely represent my 20s when it came to YouTube wrestling shows. Okay, so XMV was my 20s. This show was my 30s. So yeah, that's about right. Because I'm almost 40 and he done passed it. So yeah,
I hit the big 4-5 this year.
Yeah, it's funny. He's 45. My dad turned 65 today, which I think is awesome. Aaron's dad's been gone 10 years, which I just like. I cannot believe that Zook. And again, I want to shout out to Zook. I know we're not going to have Aaron on the show today, but I do want to shout out to Aaron and the Zooks and everybody with the Riff family because it may be 10 years, but it never gets less raw, especially your father. That sucks. So I definitely shout out to Aaron and everybody at the Riff family for what day this is. And I hate that it's my dad's birthday that coincides because it sucks. It's a bummer. I will say, though, I didn't want to post this picture on my shows today, but I forgot I was doing this, so I won't be able to do it on Talk Wrestling. But I do want to say, happy birthday, Dad. There I am. I maybe a couple hours old at most there in that picture. And we always love that picture just because the look of like, wow, look at that on his face. We love that picture. It's a great picture. So with that in mind, as I show the picture of me with my dad, let me bring in a guy who, you only notice it till it's happening, but sometimes a person's star power and energy just kind of where did the clip go? Right back. A person's star power and energy just kind of pops up out of nowhere. And the guy I'm going to bring on right now, definitely, he was a wonderful addition to the channel whenever he would pop in, whether it was to interview James Morgan and throw him off his game, or wrestle with the talent at Battleground in the middle of the ring and go undefeated for his entire career, or whatever he would do. He's turning 13 in a couple weeks. It makes my head just spin to no end. It is Dylan. What up, brother? Hi, you're on the air. Well, yeah, hi. Yeah. We cannot hear you, just so you know. I don't hear your screen muted. There he is. There we go. So
So
It's funny. It's funny. We always talked about, your mom wasn't always sure about, you do the on camera thing, but man, you were like a kind of like a hidden gem. We would like, or like a hidden weapon we'd pull out if we were just bored one day or whatever. We had to put something up on the air. Throw something at Dylan's up there. Interviewing James Morgan, which is so funny to look back on you, and Morgan just deadpanned it. God bless him for playing along. You wrestling with the wrestlers at Battleground, you defeating Thunder Kitty, and it's just stuff like that. What do you?
Phantom Kick of Doom.
Yeah, remember, this is 10 years. He was like 3 years old. What do you remember about your time with us in Long Beach as far as beyond the air stuff?
God, I remember the apartment for sure. I have one memory, one vivid memory of it, which was it was Christmas time. There was little penguins we put up on the sliding glass door to the balcony. And for some reason, if I ever woke up, I'd look at them, and for some reason, my mind would just make them move.
All right.
So little penguins waddling around, and I'd blink, and then they would just go back to the position.
That's weird.
Yeah. And
the
one thing I remember about Battleground was being in the ring, then Mikey stopping everything, so everyone literally just paused. It was like a video game where you're like in the middle of running, you just stop, and Mike goes, "Jeff, can you go on the top rope?" Sure, I don't care. So I went on the top rope, and then I knocked the wind out of myself for almost 5 minutes.
Yeah, there was a point. There's a time of our history where Dylan would go this every month to Battleground, and somebody on the roster would wrestle him in the middle of the ring. He had a match with Thunder Kitty. He had a match with, I think it was him and Ray Rosas against somebody, or him against Ray Rosas somebody, and he won that. Just like there was all this constant stuff because he's a kid, and kids are fun, and they don't, they have no fear. They never do. The one time I do remember though that he was scared, and I will never forget this as long as I live, when I was managing Sam against Sasha, and Alexis Derevko was behind me, but in the crowd, so I didn't know he was there at ringside, and he clobbered me and beat the dog out of me right in front of you and your mom and Liana, pretty much. And we had to go grab you from the crowd and bring you to the back and make sure you saw that Daddy was okay. It was one of those things where I had my moment of, okay, wrestling's not real, but now I know why. I was way older than you, kiddo, and we had to smarten you up that day because there was just no way we could get out of that Legion Hall without you knowing everything was going to be all right. And that was kind of for me. Like, I never wanted to be the one to take away the mystique of the business from you. Had to.
Yeah.
That was a bummer. I'm not going to lie. Like, I wish we could have held it. I mean, granted, I was 11, way too long to not know. That was like ridiculous, right? But 3, like, kids should be able to be kids.
Yeah.
And I couldn't let that happen, unfortunately, because like, my head bounced off that tile so much. Again, I've talked about it for years now. So many undocumented concussions was probably one of them, because I was definitely seeing stars. Like, so very likely had a little bit of a brain tickle there that night. And luckily, your Uncle Mikey had good reaction time and was able to make it work. But I just love that we were able to bring you on the shows more often, because not to degrade or to talk down on, that wasn't really a whole lot of allowed on the old with when I was at ODQ originally. Now it's like, whatever, dude, Aaron will bring you in because Aaron loves you to pieces, and you've got this great personality that just comes across on the screen that he loves it. But back then, toddlers are not exactly predictable, so he didn't want to chance it. I get that, but
no,
I
thing on Battleground, because I vividly remember going up to the guy who's super nice before the show started, and like, he's gonna hit me with a chair.
Right.
We put a mask on, and it's like, for some reason, it was with me. If you put on anything, like if you had no glasses on, but then you put sunglasses, at first I wouldn't be able to tell it was you.
Right.
That was the same thing. He had a mask on, so I didn't know who it was.
Dylan has Lois Lane syndrome.
That makes sense at that age. I mean, come on.
Yeah. We did try to smarten him up. I truthfully didn't know that they were going to pop him at ringside. I did not even know that was him myself when I came out there. Nobody clued me in on that either, for what it's worth. So when I heard the scuffle behind me, I went, oh, I wonder if this is. Oh yeah, this is it. So it's yeah. I thank the Lord that you were not even born yet when I had the or no, either you were not born yet or you were too little to bring to the show along for the whole show. But I'm glad you weren't there for the Commandos and the and Watts and Willie doing their impression of Cactus Jack and Terry Funk with the wheelchair with the folding chairs. Because man, I took some serious blows to the head that day in Newhall. I'm glad you weren't there. I'm also glad you weren't there when Uncle Jay got the chop, the meat chopped out of his chest.
I was gonna say, you mentioned the Commandos, and I just had flashbacks.
It's. I've been lucky that I don't know if it was more of a respect thing or if it was just they didn't want to try to incur any kind of trouble. They never tried to coerce me to do that. Anybody ever. And I again, it's kind of like, well, maybe I wish they would have. I really don't, because I know for a fact there would have been flinching. I'd probably still be eating chopped now for my 30th birthday. Let's just put it that way. Because I can't take that shit. I can't. So good on you. Dylan, with you not watching wrestling full time at this point, are you like how do you? I'm trying to think what to say here. I had a question that went away. I hate when it does, especially with him. What else do you remember about you? Do you remember going to the WWE shows with your mom and I, or with Uncle Jay and I, or with whoever you went with? Do you remember going to any of those?
Very lightly. I remember going to SummerSlam because I had to put in the earplug things for the fireworks.
Yes.
I could not recall anything that happened. I just remember that, and I remember seeing Kofi.
Yeah, I want to say that was 2011, which means the SummerSlam would have been the one where we sat way up in the cheap seats with our buddy Bruce, not Uncle Bruce, but different Bruce. And the main event ended up being Punk over Cena. Nash takes out Punk. Alberto cashes in. And then we ended up. Did we end up going to Aaron's party after that, or were we? No. We were firmly not talking at that point, so we didn't.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Okay, so we just went home. The next year, I
remember Mom saying that I spilled freaking apple juice or something on the carpet at a party or something at one of his.
I know there was one party, and it wasn't you, that she spilled wine at Josh's house, and everybody flipped out on her for that one because it was a nice new apartment. It was red wine, so no bueno. Yeah.
Nice one, Mom.
Yeah, well, that's your mother. Yes, sir.
I did send you a link to a video in the messenger chat, which is probably one of my fondest memories of Dylan on our channel.
The work side or on the personal side?
The group chat with you, me, and Mikey.
Ah, yes.
All right, I don't know if you want to pop that up real quick and see what he remembers of this.
No, I don't know.
I definitely want to know.
There's
That's the best
part.
Oh no, it's okay. There's 2 or 3 things that I'm thinking that it could be.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't know which one it is.
That's the best part, is that you don't know. So we're going to get genuine reaction here.
Yeah.
That's right. See if I can make this happen at a freaking medium of hassle. That's always the fun part, trying to do this shit with the technology the way it's been. But I shall try. All right, there's the video.
I mean, it doesn't have to go for too terribly long, but just enough to get reaction from him.
No, of course, absolutely. Get it loaded here. Yeah, it's funny that he did this, because that became like a fad after a while. Like everybody was doing this.
I know, but
we
10 years ago, we were trendsetters and we didn't even know it.
I was gonna say we were again ahead of the curve as always.
I mean, I just saw a video from Big G probably a couple of weeks ago where he was kind of doing it on TikTok.
Right.
And he posted it on his
TikTok's the way to do. Oh yeah. Yeah, everybody's on TikTok now for sure.
Yeah, you'll never catch me on TikTok.
Me neither.
Yeah, no. Me neither.
Anyway.
Why does it sound?
We're on a
crap,
roller.
hang on.
Here we go.
That's why.
Ow. Oh, ow. He got one on my eye.
What the crap?
Okay. Look, everyone. I'm Dylan. We're going to do some wrestling songs. Like the other day, that's not here. She's going to go with me, Rosie, and babysit Naomi. And come back. And anyway, Oka did put in Jack Swagger. And then to feel the crowd.
You hyperventilating there, kiddo?
It keeps freezing. And Dad's frozen.
Bummer.
Yeah.
But do you remember any of this?
No, honestly. I don't
Wow.
remember any of that.
You're going to have to go back and rewatch that video then off the show.
Yeah.
But the whole video, it's like almost 10 minutes long.
Yeah, I know.
I was just moving from song to song, and you would basically recreate their entrance.
I think you did it for 10
was-
minutes because I think you just got monetized on YouTube.
Possibly, but the songs would have not been able to be monetized because of licensing rights.
Yeah, it would have been copyright striked.
But yeah, it was just hilarious to watch you at that age. Almost dead on impersonating the wrestlers, you know, doing the boom, boom, boom for Kofi, doing the whole feel the ground, look at the watch, it's clobbering time.
Yeah.
That was some of the best stuff, dude. Like, seriously, I know you're growing up into a young man and everything, but like in my mind, that's still Dylan. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I remember is that kid.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jeff's computer froze, as the little graphic says, so he's going to have to leave the studio, come back in. So just give us a few minutes there, folks.
Technical difficulties.
Yes. Looks like he's coming back. Hello.
On his phone.
I'm on the phone. To hell with it.
Yep. Yeah, he
I'm gonna
completely
check my ass today. Seriously, man.
You froze and also just disappeared.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I figured happened. It's all right. Whatever. So, did any of the video go across at all?
We didn't get to see any of him actually impersonating anything.
No.
It's okay. I've already told him, go back, because he doesn't remember any of it.
Now I can't hear you on you. Hang on.
Our internet sucks. Woo!
Yeah. Not over here where I am, man. We've got such a high-tech setup. It's always pretty good here.
What's weird?
1042, what?
Hashtag shenanigans.
For real. For real. Did I miss any comments while I was dicking around this damn thing?
Nope, last comment was from report card radio.
All right, so I'm going to address the elephant in the room because it is brought up in the comments, so that's fine. When I was talking about, doing Finding My Own or whatever, report card radio says, yeah, you were, Jeff. Why couldn't you just bring Dads to no DQ? Please explain. In that resignation video that you saw a very, very little snippet of, because again, I was not going to make today about that, especially what day it is, right? Yeah. But that pitch was given to Aaron first. I mean, I'm being honest. I gave him the option to take Dads as a no DQ property 10 years ago and was told no. I was not given a really definitive reason why. he just didn't want me without me other than me. And then whatever it was, a few months later, when he, and again, this is strictly my opinion based on what the evidence of what I've seen, when he saw how good Dad's was doing. I'm not saying we were financially at height or anything, because we weren't.
Oh no.
But he saw that we were doing well enough. We were getting a pretty good following, and he attempted to bring me back into a team situation with my longtime No DQ co-host. And I, at that point, was unwilling to work with that person. And I still am, by the way, to this day. So I told him no. That was really the start of the decline of Aaron and mine's professional relationship. And unfortunately, because it was with the other person involved, it devolved into a personal de-evolution of he and I's friendship. So he and I didn't talk for well over a year after June of 2011. We did make nice again the following year. We didn't work together again until SummerSlam 13's post party, because I volunteered to watch the booths, if you will, while everybody else is inside Staples Center, because I could not afford a ticket, but I could afford to get upstairs Hooters and hired another train. So I did. And I watched with heartache as Daniel Bryan won and then lost the WWE Championship. It was a very, very tough day for me as a fan. But yeah, that's really what it comes down to. Dad was on No DQ because I was told no. That's really as simple as I can get. But, you know, it worked out because, like I said, not only did we branch out and start doing really good things with what little we had, we are very much the ECW of internet YouTube production. Accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. We didn't have the $1,000 worth of equipment. We didn't use it. We didn't have the ability to go out and record on location because of our lack of wind breaking and things like that. We didn't go anywhere. We did what we did with what we had, and it worked. And to his credit, Aaron, realizing that his YouTube channel was going to die a miserable death without something besides past accolades and BS, stepped out from behind that curtain the way the Oz did. And to his credit, he has knocked it out of the park for 10 years. And I applaud him for that. And I applaud him for coming out of his shell and not just shrinking away and letting it die, because it didn't need to die at all. And I'm grateful it didn't, because now I'm able to do this, and I'm able to do that with them as well. And I love being able to do both. I love doing things like the Fight Talk podcast I did Friday because of Talk Wrestling, because of staying with production and staying active. And that has been, and I think both of you, being in my life as close as you guys both are, will agree, me staying active is a bitch. Whether it's physically, whether it's mental space. I have a really easy time just going, you know what, if it's too much, bye. If it's physically, bye. This right here has kept me as close to centered. What the hell's that avatar? Turn that crap off. As I've ever been in my life professionally. Personally, we're getting there. Because, Dylan, seriously, take your avatar off. It looks ridiculous.
There we go.
But we're working on it, because Dylan brought the Wii back to the house during the week, and we're doing the Wii workouts now this week, so everything will be good. We asked Dylan, I'll ask you, Jay, and then I'll reveal my own answer, and then we'll get Mikey's when he comes in. What is your enduring memory of the main time we were together, which was, you know, the early to mid 2010s? What's your, like, okay, this is what I think of when I think of the channel, or the CASA, or whatever you want to call it?
When I think back on the old CASA channel and the productions we had going, you know, I completely agree with your comparison that we were like an ECW. You know, far be it from me to compare myself to Paul Heyman. I definitely don't want to give myself that much credit. But I mean, once we decided to go full tilt with programming on the channel, and we had Renegade on Monday, we had Dad's on Thursday, we brought your show After the Bell on, I believe was on Fridays.
Sounds right.
And then it was just a matter of, what do we do to fill in the rest of the show spots, the days.
Right.
Much like how you have built your empire.
Yes.
We brought Mikey into the fold. He got a day. We brought Aaron AA into the fold, and he had a day. We would do joint shows on the weekends and be some kind of crazy mashup.
Yeah. The names of Nolan were great.
Yeah. So that type of stuff, and then doing the location stuff that we did do, going to the Honda Center and filming, I think it was WrestleMania Histories, going to Staples Center and doing SummerSlam Histories.
Yes.
Outside by the statues.
Yes.
Going to Vegas and doing all of those Vegas shoots and talking about moments in wrestling in Vegas, WrestleMania 9, the stuff from the MGM Grand.
Yep.
Being there when the pipe bomb was dropped.
I was going to say, little did we know we were filming that day what we thought we were going to get handed to on a platter, like, thank you.
Our monthly excursions to Long Beach Clothing Company and having a sponsor essentially for a while.
Which was awesome.
Going in there, doing a couple shows each month, leaving with free merchandise to wear on the shows to help promote their brand.
Yep. Setting up the entire Wild Wrestling triple signing for the show that was going to be that weekend with Winter, a.k.a. Katie Lee Burchell, Tara Calloway, and Shelly Martinez, a.k.a. Ariel, a.k.a. Salinas from TNA. Like, that for me blows me away that we made that happen. Yes, Travis was the promoter. Yes, LBCC was the site. You and I negotiated all that. I'm so proud of that.
Definitely, so those are the things that I remember, and then our off work shenanigans as well, our excursions to the Melodrama Theater. And that group photo that we have of me, you, Mikey, and Aaron, all with the cast of the production.
Yeah, I every year my birthday rolls around, I know that picture's coming, and I get all misty because that was such a fun night. That was the first completely out of the box birthday I ever had, like ever. It was so fun.
Our trips down to Hooters and playing the trivia contests.
Yeah, it's so funny to look back on those now and go, man, like it's such a different atmosphere now because of all the changes they've made corporately. Like I don't know if it'd be as much fun now, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But that's the stuff that I remember that I look back on.
Dylan, what's your first memories of Uncle Mikey and Uncle Jay?
God, I don't know. I can't remember. I just remember. I don't even remember living at Nan and Grandpa's the first. Oh, actually, no. I take it back. I do.
Okay.
I remember living there for a little bit. But I don't remember going to the apartment for the first time. I just remember all of a sudden, my memory is just, I'm there.
Okay. Yeah, it was actually WrestleMania weekend 2011 where we made it official. Like we all went down there that Friday. That was it. We were there, and then we did WrestleMania. It was the first WrestleMania I'd watched that was the first pay-per-view I watched with them that I wasn't just a visitor. We were residents, and I believe it was the first Mania I watched. you know, I don't know if I was at WrestleMania 26 with you guys. I know the memory of you turning your back on the main event is there, but I don't know if I was actually there or if the memory of the story is there. But either way, I know for a fact that WrestleMania 27 was the first pay-per-view I watched that I was not a resident of Santa Clarita when it happened. And that kind of sticked in my mind. I was like, wow, okay.
I remember that WrestleMania fondly. I don't remember what happened, but I remember being there for that WrestleMania. I just didn't realize it was the first time I was there living there.
It was a good day because we all, like, we were better about the people in the main event at that time, but we were still pleasantly surprised that The Miz actually retained the title. We were like, because that was our guy for a while, and it was cool to see him walk out as a champion. Even though, as I said, we were friendlier with other people on the show at that point, it was kind of like they actually let him keep the title. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Never expected it. And then that year-long build to Miami. Oh, my God.
Once in a lifetime, and they repeat it the next year.
Hey, it's so nice. You gotta do it twice.
Yeah, that's right.
Can't leave money on the table.
That's right.
Words of
Once in a
Piper.
lifetime.
Gotta draw money. Gotta draw money. They'll be back next year.
Once in a lifetime, but if you're still alive, ignore that catchphrase. Never happened. Yeah. Although, again, necessary. Dylan, what do you think? I know you're not watching right now because of the reasons you're not watching right now. But before that happened, what's your opinion of the product now? Because I know you're watching even less than this guy is.
What's the product now?
Right.
Just.
It's.
I don't know what it is. I don't really. I don't even know.
That's okay. You know. Okay, let me ask you this then. If you were to compare the product now, as we sit here, as much as you've been able to watch it, your highlights or whatever, and you think back to when you were 3 and we're moving in with Uncle Jay and everybody, if you were gonna start watching wrestling now, would you remain a fan going forward from today?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's just the booking. Honest.
Yeah, the booking is definitely again, you know, I try very hard. I know you don't watch my shows, but I don't blame you for not, because you know you're gonna have to be in person as it is. But I have said for many years that I usually at this point only watch the current product because it is my job. I do have to keep up with what's going on TV. That way I know what I'm talking about when I get together with the No DQ panel or whatever the case may be. But I honestly don't know. If I were to happen upon wrestling for the first time now at 38 years, 21 days, if I would stick with it. Because it's definitely a hard sell for me. And I know with JJ getting back into it, trying to keep current for my sake and for his own sake with what he's doing with his channel, it's definitely a problematic thing to not want to just make it go away in your head and just be, you know, like whatever. Okay.
I think the biggest problem, and as someone who's watched longer, you can correct me if you don't agree or whatever, and even you, Dylan, you can, if you feel the same way. It's really hard to compare what you see today to what you saw when you first got into it. You know, if I was sitting down for the very first time and I was watching Raw, and especially with the whole Orton, Alexa, Fiend thing that's going on, I very well could be captivated by it because it is, that part of the story is good TV.
Yeah.
But if you compare what they're putting on a weekly basis on Raw and SmackDown to what I saw, you know, back in 98 and 99 when the Attitude Era was still at its peak and I first got into it, there's no comparison. but I don't feel like, I mean, if I was just sitting down for the first time watching it, I still feel like maybe I'd be captivated enough to keep watching it going forward, because at least that angle is intriguing, and I want to see what's going to happen the next week and the next week. And then once that has run its cycle, has it done enough to keep me watching it? We'd have to see what the next big story to unfold is. But that's my thoughts on it. Is it's always hard to compare the current product to the product that actually hooked you.
Yeah, well, because like the Attitude Era, you couldn't say whatever you wanted to, but you could say close enough to what you wanted to on TV.
Oh yeah.
Now, certain people, you breathe and you're doing something wrong.
Very much so. The Attitude Era was very much PG-13, borderline R.
Yeah.
And now you're lucky if you get a PG.
Yeah.
It's very G-rated PG entertainment, and it's really hard to make that transition, you know.
So, Mikey, we were waiting for you to come back because we have to tell the story of the first time you met me in person outside of PWG.
Honestly, Jeff, the first time we met is really it's lost. I cannot remember the first time you and I met. So whatever. That's not me.
I know. I took care of it.
So you don't remember the first time Jeff came over to our house for a pay-per-view?
It's a blur. I mean, I think the story was that I may have marked out for Jeff.
May have?
Yeah.
You treated Jeff like you treated the wrestlers that came to rob stores. You were such a bumbling buffoon when it came to Jeff walking into the house.
He said he may have marked out. That's like saying, Jesus may have been a bit Christian. May have. He and Case Spence, let's not kid ourselves. The two of them just lost their shit. Tremendous stuff. Kevin more so. I will say that until I'm blue in the face. That dude, he got so torqued out of shape at seeing, as he would say, the great and powerful Jeff Meacham. And all of a sudden, when he got in the business, it was like, oh, yeah, it's you. It's like, dude, lame.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That first day, Mikey and K-Spence were both attached to the Meach's proverbial sack and were swinging from left to right attached to it.
He came in like a wrecking ball. But
it's
in all fairness, at least Mikey, for the most part, maintains civility and treating me like a human being going forward. Yeah. I can't say the same about Kevin. So.
No.
Yeah, and let me say, I was very surprised that you found episode 1 of Statboy Rants. That was a shocking surprise. Well done on that one.
It's still on the channel.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go to the old CASA channel and look it up.
You'd be surprised how easy it is, Mike. You forget. All you have to do is go view videos, oldest to newest. The first video is him. Second video is us. And then just go down till you hit summer 2011. Boom, there he is.
Wow.
Dude,
I thought that video was...
I never removed any videos from the CASA channel.
No.
Even the people that we no longer associate with, their videos are still up there, much to their chagrin, probably.
Right.
So
the thing is,
videos of you, videos of Double Down with Double A, videos of RSI, videos of In the Pink, videos of Chicks on Wrestling, videos of On the Road with Ray Larkin.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is still on the channel. Yeah.
Wow.
The old Hardy conversations.
Oh my god. Yeah.
All of that stuff is still up there.
Like if I hadn't wanted to focus on just the three of us as the trailer thing went along, because if you notice, all three of us are pretty much in all those clips, except for like a couple of them where it's me and Jay or just me or whatever. But I almost put the original intro to RSI up because her and I just were so like stupid right away, like funny. Like she's trying introduction, there's this big in the background outside, and I go, tell her what RSI means. And she looks at me like I'm stupid. She goes, Ring Science Sammy. I'm like, you don't know. People can watch it. It could be really silly igloos. You don't know. It could be really strong igloos. People can be watching and think you're going to see really silly Italians. You don't know what they think RSI means. And she looks at me, anyway. And then we
You know, I have to admit, I told you in private when you sent that trailer and I viewed it, you know, I really enjoyed that intro.
Thank you.
You know, full disclosure, I almost got a little misty-eyed watching it.
Yeah.
My only gripe is that there should have been at least a little blip of some of the other stuff that was on there too, and not just so on the three of us. But I get why you did it that way.
Okay. Yeah. I did it for exactly the reason I did it. If I knew more of them would A, come on the show, or B, be okay with it, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would. But I knew at least two of them, if not three of them, would raise a major enough stink where it would give me a freaking headache and I wouldn't want to deal with it. So it is what it is. However, I need to step out for just a moment here if you guys want to. I need to preheat the oven for my dad's birthday dinner. So stand by, guys. I'll shower.
No worries. So, Mikey,
No worries.
now that you have joined us, I'm going to go ahead and grab the reins of host
And been
here
embarrassed
for a
thoroughly.
moment. We've talked a little bit about Dylan has given his thoughts. I've given my thoughts. When you think back to the old CASA D-18 Studios days and our adventures, our shows, our shenanigans, etc., what are the first memories that come to your mind?
Oh, without a doubt, it was the monthly pay-per-views. I mean, we had at one point, I think we had 8 or 9 or maybe even 10 people there. You know, we would just order pizza and chicken wings and soda and beer and your chili dip and we just sit there and we'd all watch wrestling. And there were times where you didn't like John Cena, and whenever the John Cena match came on, you were the only one that turned your chair. And everyone, and of course, then we had the monthly pools that you know, we all put $5 in and we all try and do pick'em contests. And then there's the time where I actually decked K Spence at a party, which I can't forget now. That old memory came up because I actually had too much to drink. But let's face it, I'm a lightweight anyway. I can't hold my liquor to save my life. And I wanted to focus on the match, and he wouldn't shut up, so I just hauled off and I decked him.
Yeah. Statboy can barely hold his liquor when it's still in the glass.
Yep.
True story.
He's absolutely right with that. Absolutely true. And then all the shows we did, I mean, with everyone's talent coming in there, you know, you guys with your playoff beards during the hockey runs, which I saw, and I'm like, oh my God, that beard was amazing. I was so jealous of Jeff's beard, and I think I was like doing the no, don't get rid of it, because it actually became of him. And then all of us mobbing up to Battleground and I'm going to embarrass you now, nephew. I mean, I don't know if you remember it, but the day your dad got punched by Alexis Derevko in a mask is one of the greatest stories that I love telling. And you thought your dad earlier. Your dad, you thought Daddy was really, really hurt. And I had to take you into the bathroom. You were beyond tears. You were tears, snot, and everything. And I had to take you into the bathroom and wash your face. And I said, "Don't worry, Daddy's okay." And you bolted out of my arms and into his arms because you thought something had happened to Dad. And that's one of the greatest stories ever. I don't think you remember it though. Do you? Hello,
Dylan?
nephew.
Dylan?
I think he's moving.
You didn't hear what you just said, Mike.
I don't think he was even paying attention.
My sound was off, and all of a sudden it popped back on. All I heard was Dylan. I don't think he's paying attention.
He basically just ran through the whole story we covered earlier about Alexis Derevko assaulting your dad during the match and how you were a wreck, and he's asking if you remember any of that.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about that.
I told him we've talked about it a little bit already, but he wasn't here for that, so just humor him. Do you remember any of that again?
Yeah, again, I can look. Oh, yeah, there it is, right in my head again. Like it was like 45 minutes ago.
Ha ha ha, no need to be a wise ass.
But yeah, no, I remember it very fondly. And
that was one of my greatest stories that I love telling about you. And there is another story that you and in fact you were the cause of it. It's also a very, I mean, Jay, I think you know the story. And if Jeff is okay with it, I'll tell it. I mean, I don't mind putting myself out on that.
Well, Jeff isn't here right now, so you're going to have to either just go for it or wait.
We're gonna have to wait on that one. But,
Okay.
you know, the trips to Disneyland was a blast when we all went to Disneyland together as a family.
I mean, I could say when it isn't Disneyland a blast, but there are a couple answers to that one. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just all about family for us, you know, because
definitely
it's definitely all about family, and we all need to just remember that's what I remember most about all the CASA D-18 years and everything, and all the D-17 years, and going out to barbecues and just and then we did start to branch out a little bit, you know, with the top 10 stuff. You know, the girls would do their stuff, their top 10, their Christmas songs. We would pair off every once in a while, and we branched out, and then we all went our separate ways, and now we're back together again in a much different environment. So yeah.
Well, for starters, you're halfway across the country now in Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know, I'm halfway across the state from these two. You know, Santa Clarita to freaking Rancho Cucamonga. And then you got to factor in, you know, the world of COVID that we live in.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely, like we constantly say, it is what it is, baby.
That's true.
Dead air.
I know. This is the part where we need Jeff back. Hurry up, Jeff.
We need Jeff back. Come back, Jeff. We need you here.
We tried to show a little bit of the video of Dylan impersonating wrestlers a little bit ago to their entrance themes. Unfortunately, it froze.
I do remember that video. That was a great video. And I saw we got a super chat earlier too, so thank you.
Yes, we got a couple of them. That was very cool. I hope there's more questions that are popping up that once Jeff comes back we can address, because I can't see them here on my end. I don't know, maybe if I open up another tab to actually bring the video up, I can see if any questions are popping in the thing. Let's see here. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. No, I'm not seeing anything there. Nope, no questions popping up, unfortunately. So we can't do that to kill time. Doo-doo-doo. What are you doing with that duck shirt, by the way? Like, what the heck? Did you not know the company you were keeping? I can't hear you. You sound like you're far away.
Hands over the microphone.
Dork.
Well, I still don't have my camera set up yet. All right, I'm in a brand new bedroom. I've got my clothes hanging up in the closet. I've got a desk. I've got a bed. I'm still working on getting the studio stuff in here.
There you
it's
go.
It's a work in progress. Okay.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Mine's
planning,
still
but
coming
no,
together too.
Yeah, I guess I grabbed the duck shirt. I know I should be wearing my Stat Boy shirt, but with the ducks playing the Wild again, and we need the points. So there is that. Jeff, where are you?
Any other memories?
Oh, let's see. What else? The latest one we did was when we all went to Survivor Series. That was last year, wasn't it?
I was not there for that.
No, you weren't there for that.
And that would have had to have been 2019 because 2020 everything was shut down.
Did the three of us? Oh, we all went to Raw. We were front row at Raw, right? We did do a show where we were front row at Raw, and we got up and close personal with Cena. I do remember that. No, wait.
I don't remember being front row at Raw with all of us. We did see Cena that fateful day in Vegas, the night of the pipe bomb.
Yeah, I know I missed that day. How many big shows have the three of us been to?
Big shows? I think just maybe a SummerSlam.
Was that SummerSlam 09 when Natalie was a baby?
There was that one because it was either 09 or 2010 was the after party at Bob's episode. That was a no DQ thing, though.
Oh, wait, I wasn't at 09 because I
No.
saw the clip. I brought the clip. We all saw the clip and we actually played it back on.
Might have been
DVR.
2012. It was the. I want to say it was Bryan versus Sheamus was like the first match or something.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't great seats. We were totally like angled off of the entryway.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. Let me see what I can bring up. Oh, okay. There's a question I see. Michael Gonzalez says, favorite moment doing the Renegade reviews. He's asking you a question.
Well, it hasn't been going for that long to really been doing the Renegade reviews one. I did really enjoy the episode this month where we did They Live, me and Jeff. Or are you talking about the old Renegade of Wrestling show? that started 10 years ago.
Go back old school if you have to. If you, that's my guess.
Guys, as far as the Renegade of Wrestling one goes, dude, I haven't looked at those old episodes in years. Like years and years and years. Let me see here. See if I can find something just looking at the icons real quick on my phone. Number 11 of Renegade of Wrestling, which was, I want to say it was Dylan's birthday, and we were at Chuck E. Cheese.
We used to love going to Chuck E. Cheese.
What else have we got here? We've got the Eddie Guerrero tribute that I had done 5 years after his passing.
Right.
That was a good one because we had Bruce on that show, amongst other people. What else we got here?
I think I just heard Jeff.
The Stanley Cup celebration was actually an episode of Renegade is Wrestling.
Right,
Episode 49, the first Stanley Cup celebration. So those are a few of the ones.
I'm hearing some grumbling.
I know. Hopefully he's coming back here soon. We're struggling here.
We're struggling here big time, man. We are big time struggling here. Dylan, are you
Jeff
playing
doing?
games? Or?
Jeff needed to go and start preheating the oven at his house, so he had to leave for a few moments. I did not think it would take this long for him to start the oven preheating, though.
I mean, what's he
So
using?
that is what
Firewall
Jeff is doing.
It wasn't
There he
just
is,
the
he's back.
preheating. What happened was,
You're lying.
I forgot that not only did I have to preheat the oven, but the dishes had to be taken care of too. So.
Oh, goody.
So.
Couldn't send the kidlet in there to do the dishes.
Well, that's all right. So what we got here? Where are we at here on the?
Well, Jeff,
We've been drowning, dude.
Yeah, we've been drowning big time.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to ask permission if I could tell the story about Dylan. You should know which story I'm talking about. When he was 3 years old, not the wrestling story. It's the other infamous Dylan story that I tell.
Which one?
The closet. Do you remember? The first time I babysat Dylan.
Hang on. I would say no because I don't remember it. So if you tell it and I don't know it, I might be not okay. So if you want to message me, go ahead.
I don't think I can because if I do, I'll lose the feed.
I got it. Okay. So as far as Michael's question on most surprising wrestling moment for you guys, wow. Honestly, the pipe bomb's definitely up there because we did not expect that to go.
Oh no!
Something like that was coming because it was Punk, but man, that set the world afire and shut No DQ down. Honestly, for me, the most surprising moment I think thus far. Oh I mean, there's just, I mean, you gotta remember, 30 years plus of fandom from now, so it's been. I'm trying to think of the one. As far as the ones I've been involved with, definitely Gary over-gigging himself. That surprised me because that was scary. That was legitimately scary. Because he got nervous. It happens to all of us. We all get adrenaline rushes, and we all get too wound up on things, and he just cut too deep and too wide. And the most surprising moment of all of that was he drove home when I was shotgun from Hayward, which is San Jose area. Jerks. Anyway. But to Gary's credit, he wanted to make sure me as well as my pregnant fiance got home okay, so I'm cool with that. I mean, it's funny, like people don't think of it as shocking. They think of it more as haha. The Shockmaster thing is definitely shocking because it should have been one of the greatest things ever, and it just fell completely flat of ours. It really did. It just was so bad and so unexpectedly bad that it was depressing almost. So there's one thing narrowing down to we're already 7 minutes over where I wanted to be discussion. So, it's quite a bit. Although, there's a dad's topic there, top 10 surprises. Just saying, Joe.
It's possibility.
Right there, brother. As far as video game PPC, that's more of a question because I'm not much of a gamer. I don't know how Jay and Mikey are these days. I've never really been much of a gamer guy. It was either wrestling or Mario for me. So,
yeah, I'm not a huge gamer. When I was younger, I did enjoy my games.
Right.
But once I started to live with this goober down over here,
right,
Mikey,
yeah,
kind of took all the fun out of video games for me.
Yes.
Yeah, when it came to video games, three of us, I was the constant gamer. I was the one with the GameFly account. I was always on the GameCube or the Wii or the Wii U or going to Aladdin's Castle or any old video game I could get my hands on. I was playing it, and I would become obsessed with it. I would be the guy that would throw the controller at the TV. I would be the guy with the video game, what were those things called? The strategy guides, or the video game cheat sheets. And there were times at almost midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I would be playing games, and and then, of course, Jay was always the first one to bust me out. He's like, "You're cheating." I'm like, "I'm not cheating. I'm legitimately stuck. I have no idea what to do." And so, and I'm still more of a classic gamer guy. If I ever find the retro arcades, I'm always going to be a Miss Pac-Man guy. I'm always going to be a pole position guy, or things like that. The newer games, the fighting games, I hate. Turbotastic, exactly. And Jay will attest to this. He knows that I hate fighting games with a passion because I am always the one. I'm button mashing 24/7. I'm getting my ass kicked left and right. Sorry, Dylan, I don't mean to swear at you or around you like that, but I shouldn't be doing that in the first place. But it was always the games where you had to. Like Mario 64, I think, was like one of the first ones, or whatever the first Mario game for the GameCube was. That was my obsession. Oh, I've got to find all these stars.
So, BPC, you owe me a super chat for that alone. Thank you for that. Anyway, I will say this: Mikey's gaming is very much a country song. Your cheating heart will make you bleed. You'll try and cry yourself to sleep. Anyway, or you're try to sleep. Anyway, so let me wrap it up. I've got company coming any second now for my dad's birthday. So let me just wrap it up and say this. Tomorrow, and I don't know if you watched, Mikey, but in the Stat Boys Sports Bar slot tomorrow to give you an opportunity for an extra week to get stats and rankings together and everything. We will be presenting a very interesting presentation here on the WQ Network as far as my stuff goes. 20 years to the day of the demise of WCW and the purchase by the WWF. So that'll be tomorrow's network presentation. And then Friday, maybe live, maybe not, the simulcast of Raw and Nitro on the day. Get out! Whoa! Jesus Christ! Fuck. Oh, there's the F word. Sorry, dog's coming in crazy. I need to go, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. We appreciate you all for supporting us the last 10 years on CASA D-18. All the years you've been supporting me and JJ and Mikey and doing something to laugh at with his dad's being his spastic self. We appreciate it. Until tomorrow, WCW special. We will see you guys next time right here on the CASA D-18 Studios and the Jeff Meacham